I honestly don't even know where to start with this one, because every time I think Mnet can't go lower, they somehow manage to dig a new basement. So let's talk about what just happened with Boys II Planet and the Trainee Yichen, because this whole situation is insane. If you've been following survival shows, you already know evil editing is basically part of Mnet's DNA at this point. But what they did to Yichen, that's on a whole new level. So, during the show, they kept highlighting Yichen as this trainee, who was constantly absent from practice. They literally slapped captions like, "A situation where they can't practice without Yichen," right across the screen. And of course, the editing framed him as this unreliable guy, someone holding back the group. You could already see the comments online. Fans of other trainees blaming him, saying he was lazy, dragging down the team, all of that. And then, to make it worse, they showed him just strolling around the premises, or casually sitting with other groups, like he had all the time in the world. The narrative was basically, look, here's the reason the group isn't improving. It's Yichen. But here's the kicker. Fans started digging deeper, because K-pop fans, we don't play when something feels off. And what they found honestly blew my mind. Turns out, yes, Yichen wasn't always in practice, but not for the reasons Mnet made it look like. The truth is that the production team actually asked him to translate for them. Like, literally. They were using him as their translator because Yichen is fluent in both Korean and Mandarin. And remember, this show has both Korean and Chinese trainees. That's already a huge communication gap. And instead of, hiring professional translators, Mnet decided to lean on a trainee, a contestant, someone who is supposed to be competing for his dream, not working for the production team. And honestly, that changes everything, because now all those moments where he looked absent weren't him skipping out or being lazy. He was literally doing free labor for the show. Free labor that made the entire production smoother. Like, imagine you're working so hard to chase your dream. You're in this high-pressure environment competing against other talented people, and instead of letting you focus, the show asks you to do side work. And then they take those very same moments and edit them into a storyline that paints you as the unreliable one. That's not just evil editing, that's straight-up betrayal. What makes it even worse is that other trainees have actually come forward and admitted how much Yichen helped them. They said he was always assisting, always making sure communication was possible between trainees who couldn't understand each other. So not only was he a contestant, he was basically holding the team together behind the scenes. And yet, what does the audience see? A villain edit. A lazy guy who doesn't show up to practice. It's honestly disgusting. And fans are rightfully furious. People are calling Mnet out for exploiting him, for using his skills, and then stabbing him in the back with their editing. Like, how do you justify that? You're telling me Mnet, one of the biggest names in Korean entertainment, couldn't afford a single translator? Seriously, are they that broke? Because it's giving work fraud vibes at this point. They basically had free labor from Yichen, didn't pay him, didn't credit him, and then destroyed his image on top of it. That's not just shady, that's cruel. And let's not forget, survival shows are brutal for trainees' reputations. The way someone is edited can literally make or break their entire career. One bad narrative, one misleading caption, and suddenly you're the guy who ruined practice or the lazy one that sticks, even if it's not true. Fans of other contestants run with it, antis weaponize it, and the trainee suffers the fallout long after the show ends. And for Yichen, this could have been the biggest opportunity of his life. Instead, Mnet twisted it into a narrative where he looks bad, all while secretly knowing they were the ones pulling him out of practice. What really gets me is how casual Mnet is with this. It's almost like they don't even care about the damage. Fans were joking, saying Mnet pulled an Mnet because at this point it's so predictable, but when you stop and think about the actual human being behind that screen, It's heartbreaking he must have felt so confused, like, wait, I'm helping you guys, I'm translating for free, and then you turn around and make me look like the bad guy. That psychological damage right there. And honestly, I just have to laugh at the absurdity of it, because are we really supposed to believe Mnet can't hire a translator? This is a company that produces international shows, that rakes in massive sponsorships, that thrives on global K-pop fandom, and they couldn't budget for something as basic as communication support. That's embarrassing, like the bar is on the floor, and somehow Mnet keeps tripping over it. At the end of the day, fans are not stupid, people are seeing through the edits, calling them out, and defending Yichen. And honestly, good for him, because he deserves better. He was helping his fellow trainees, making the show even possible for them, and instead of appreciation, he got used. Mnet might have thought they could spin another villain story, but all they did was expose themselves for being cheap and manipulative. So yeah, Mnet once again proved why people don't trust their survival shows. The betrayal is real, and I hope Yichen knows that the fans see him, the trainees respect him, and this mess is on Mnet, not on him, because if you ask me, the only ones looking bad right now are the producers.